I thought I would offer some unsolicited dating advice for men. And when I say dating advice, I'm not really necessarily talking about how you find your life partner here. I'm going to aim this message more at the guys like me who don't really want monogamy and don't really want kids and find the prospect of marriage to be completely illogical and unappealing, and instead just love women and beautiful women and giving beautiful women lots of pleasure and romance and having fun, and actually loving without it being a part of some huge life plan and ambition and all of that. And I suppose this is maybe particularly relevant to other British guys, because look at me, I'm just a normal British guy. Look at these pathetic arms I have. I am not an alpha male. I do not go to the gym. And I'm pretty averse to most forms of physical exercise. And yet, I have managed to have a fair degree of success in the realms of women. And my bedpost has had so many notches in it that it has been worn down to a nub surrounded by wood chips and dust. I do all right. But actually, then there's a question of okay, how do you get girls? And guys are obsessed with it, and I was too. And I still am, don't get me wrong. There's no golden key to any of it. And don't let anyone sell you on the idea that there is. Because I don't think there is. I'm a smart guy, and I've tried many things and put lots of effort into getting girls and chasing women. And it's never easy, but it can be easier sometimes than others. And I wanted to give you my number one piece of advice, my number one tip on how you can get more girls and have more luck with dating and with sex and with casual sex. And I don't like the term pickup artist. It has many negative connotations, and I think most pickup artists on YouTube are bullshitters, frauds, phonies, and liars, to be honest with you, just there to make money. But anyway, my tip, and this, yes, maybe especially for British guys in my experience, and probably for most American men too, is simply leave your country and go to somewhere where you are different to everyone else. Go to the place where you are the shiny Pokemon card. I mean, take me for example. In Oxford, I'm just another Oxford guy, I'm one of 10,000 overeducated, stuffy, stuck-up, over-socialised, British, stiff, polite. There's nothing that makes me special in Oxford. But if I go to New York City, oh my god, are you from England? If I go to Thailand, I'm fucking tall and I'm white. If I go to, many parts of the world, I'm tall and white, and that seems to be a golden fucking ticket, basically. It's like dating on easy mode at that point. I'm gonna say it, women actually value you all of a sudden, whereas back in England, they basically seem to be valuing you or not, depending on your career prospects, your ability to provide, blah blah blah. Every date's another job interview back in Oxford. And when you go abroad, it's, for me in a way, it was the first time I really felt women really actually valued me for who I am in this phenomenal physical form. I say phenomenal, not wow, it's phenomenal. I mean the philosophical sense, as in my false self, my body in the world. And women notice you. You're different. You're the foreigner, mysterious, unusual, hopefully not like the local men. And I just think it's, if you struggle with women in your own country, you really ought to consider taking a nice long backpacking trip in a foreign land where you are the shiny Pokemon card. And it's kind of obvious, right? And it's not just for men and women. It's not just for men. It's for everyone, because everybody likes the exotic, generally. I mean, there's a general tendency for people to find the exotic appealing. And I suppose there are obvious genetic and evolutionary reasons why this might be the case. Like, a broad gene pool is a survivable and therefore good and fit and healthy gene pool. And so it makes sense that people are kind of looking to maximize the gene pool of their offspring, and that the more different someone is, the more foreign, the more appealing they become. And I saw recently this data map thing, and it showed, like, it asked women, like, which men out of which European country do you find most attractive? And pretty much every single country on that map had the word Italy on it, right? So the British women want Italian men. The Spanish women want Italian men. The French women want Italian men. I get it. Italian men are charming and sexy and very not feminist, incidentally. They're really, like, possessive, and, you know, their gender attitudes are like 20 years ago for Britain, and yeah, women seem to love that shit, but don't get me started on that. But, and here's my point, for Italy, they asked the Italian women, what men do you find most attractive? And they said, Sweden. Well, I'm more on their side. To be honest, I think the Swedish men and women are incredibly good looking, even more so than Italians. And in the south of Italy, those men are tiny anyway, they're very little. So anyway, it just goes to show that women tend not to find their own men the most appealing. And I think that's a pretty universal thing. So my tip for you as a sexually frustrated single man in Britain or America or Western Europe is to go where you are valued the most in this world. Yeah. Simple as that. Like, don't expect to be that you're born in the place that you are going to be most valued. You have to go. You have to travel. You have to drift and find the place where you are most valued. Because I think, yeah, that's just the way the game is. Well, and it is a very wise thing that someone once said when they said, don't hate the player, hate the game. And if you want to play the game well, I suggest going abroad and finding a pretty foreign woman who will actually love you for who you are. And and when I travel, I'm completely honest with women. I say to them, look, I'm only here for a month. I'm not a huge fan of monogamy, don't want kids. They don't care. They do not give a shit. Like, because they actually desire you, you know? That's what it means to actually be loved and desired, I think, as a man. Like, it's not just about how they're going to use you for their life goals and ambitions. And to be completely frank, I have found that quite a difficult thing to find in Britain, and quite an easy thing to find outside of Britain. So, there you go.